Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman, CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. This is based on a press release that's going to be coming out probably later on this evening. $9 billion in damages. Boeing and ANSI must reimburse 20,000 AS9100 suppliers for 22 years of illegal compliance demand, says QA expert Daryl Guberman, and also a Boeing shareholder. This film is going to be $9 billion in damages. Boeing, ANSI, ANAB must repay $20,000. AS9100 suppliers for 22 years of forced compliance. We have the federal regulations as well that they broke. Let me go over this very shortly with you. Here it is. After 9/11, Boeing came out with this article that they were going to be laying off 20 to 30,000 employees. This is part of it. I wanted to show it to you so that you get a better, a better feeling for what is going on here, because it's absolutely, atrocious? Yeah. I stood up, as you can see with this picture, I stood up right here on April 17th, supporting Sam Salephour, the whistleblower, on the Boeing 777, 787. He was saying that they have very bad design issues. Now, this is the notification that Boeing came out with for NADCAP certification in April of 2002. And they basically said this: we believe the number of redundant audits will significantly be reduced as aerospace manufacturers embrace the program. Boeing will augment or supplement NADCAP audits with additional assessments as the need arises. As the need arises, what does that mean? And then, in order for you to fill out this document, if you refuse to pay for NADCAP certification, Boeing took you off their supplier portal. Next, we go with this. July of 2002, they came out with this supplier bulletin, which basically stated if you're AS9100, you must be ANSI ANAB accredited, and this is what this says. We're going to supplement, they say survey, it's actually an audit. They want to confuse the business owner, of course. And it basically said this: an on-site Boeing audit of supplier's quality system if need be. Our preference is to deal with proven suppliers with excellent quality performance and not have to do on-site system audits. And that to me is absolutely unbelievable. One of the reasons why is that Boeing mentioned ANSI ANAB on their supplier portal. Third-party registers must be ANSI ANAB or internationally equivalent. Number two is that over here, this is actually the web page that came off Boeing's website. You can't make this up. Where Boeing can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification. That's a management committee website, and you just can't make that up. Also over here, this is the actual web page. And you can see that came off Boeing's supplier portal. And it basically says certification bodies accredited to these management systems by ANSI ASQ, which is ANSI ANAB, National Credit Board ANAB, or internationally equivalent. Could be China, could be Iran, who the heck knows. So we continue on. Then, here's this. There you go, you can see that. All right. On top of it, they came up with the Heads Up 22 in October of 2003 because Boeing needed to constrict you, the business owner. They themselves were not AS9100, nor they would be, because we have a little tiny notification from I think it's Elizabeth Lund. She's the one who said that Boeing's compliance means nothing. This is what was in the Heads Up 22. It said that if you're AS9100, you cannot refuse to be put on the online aerospace systems information system that's run by the International Aerospace Quality Group. You can't, and you can't you cannot stop from paying database fees. In that procedure, they said it appears that it's a one-time fee. On top of it, in 2009, we move up even further. The FAA made Boeing an agency of the FAA. You can't make this up, where they can self-certify their own aircraft technologies like the MCAS system that killed 340 plus people between 2018 and 19 on the Ethiopian and Indonesian air, and also aircraft designs. It said this, because I want to read you what an FAA employee said, a spokesperson, after those planes went down in 2019. But here in 2009, this is what came out. It said, the FAA increased the authorities of Boeing's commercial airplanes division to self-certify its own aircraft. Boeing is set to officially switch to the new system dubbed Organization Destination Authorization, ODA system, August 31st. I think that's 2009. The authority extended to Boeing under the new law system allows Boeing employees to perform tasks on behalf of the FAA that include oversight of testing and product standards, along with certification of aircraft technologies and new aircraft designs. So you have that, ladies and gentlemen. So that means, on top of it, the FAA made some of Boeing's inspectors, Boeing/FAA, but they were getting paid by Boeing, which means their allegiance was to Boeing, not to anyone else, not to the FAA either. And it was a boondoggle. They were best for the Boeing, especially the CEO who got performance bonuses. You can actually see on a chart that we have from 2009 all the way up, because look how much money they saved from not putting the auditors out there. From 2002 to 2009, 7 years of savings from, auditor. They send out a team, 2 or 3 auditors. They have to take a plane flight, hotel, lodging, food, a car, etc. That's a lot of money. And they have over 10,000 suppliers, from we gather. After the planes went down in 2018 and 19, this is what a spokesperson for Boeing said. I mean, not Boeing, but the FAA. He said the FAA has never allowed companies to police themselves or self-certify their own aircraft. You go back here, and it said, what did it say? It said, the FAA increased the authority of Boeing's commercial airplanes division to self-certify 10 years before. We can't have reliability on the FAA at all. So I wanted to let you, ladies and gentlemen, know this. Miss Patricia, not Patricia, but Elizabeth Lund, she came out in 2024, and she says that we are compliant. Boeing is compliant. I went out there in October of 2024, ladies and gentlemen, not for me, for you. I went out there because I've got 40 plus years experience in quality, and I needed to get the information, not me. I've got copious amounts of information, and I'm thinking about just giving it to Airbus, because that's Boeing's Achilles heel. You know what their Achilles heel is? They have the seniority average at Boeing is 3 to 5 years, 75%. 25% is 10 years. It should be reversed. The longevity should be 75%, 10 years and more, and the 3 to 5 should be 25%. But it's not that way at Boeing at all. I went to Everett, Renton, Auburn, and Northfield, and they told me the same thing. And I asked them, because I already found out about the article about them not being AS9100, but shoving it down your throats to AS9100. That's why you have to get your money back, because when the OEM does not follow in the same practices and principles as you, the supplier, there's something wrong there. Something does not smell right. So between European suppliers and American suppliers, it comes to about $9 billion with a B for the 22 years that they put you under the thumb, and there's a lot of legalities with that. And we have all the data, ladies and gentlemen. So you might get a check for $500,000. Absolutely. Because they perpetrated a fraud on you. And you used to have the registrars that are accredited by ANSI, ANAB, or one of their international equivalents that sit on the IAF, and the International Accreditation Forum was founded by ANSI, ANAB. Their sister organization, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation in Australia, okay? They have both national and international accreditation bodies where their accreditation is equivalent to ANSI, ANAB, okay? And ANSI, ANAB are underwriters for these organizations, which means they take full legal responsibility. I'm not going to go any further. You can read the article, and there's many articles embedded in that article. But I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, those people who are AS9100 certified, contact me. We have the resolution to years, for decades of you paying a lot of money, close to $21,000 for a 3-year term of service under an ANAB accredited or there's equivalent accreditation certification. My number is 203-556-1493. And why we do it? Because we got to keep those birds in the air. Right now, it's not good. I spoke to those people out in Washington State for almost a month, and they said, we never even heard of AS9100, or we never even did internal audits. You can't make that up.